Ah, the skinny on tablature. A lot of people who read tablature tell me, when I ask them about reading notes, they say, well, that's too hard. Tablature is easy, which is true. And then I have guitar teachers tell me, oh, I don't want students reading tab. They need to learn to read notes. It seems to me that they're both valuable, and it's helpful to be able to understand basic note reading and to be able to understand tablature and to use both, either one when it's appropriate and sometimes even both. Now, a lot of people do think that reading notes is too hard and tablature is easy. In fact, reading notes is not that hard. It does take more time, and especially if you just look at notes, it doesn't make sense. But with a methodical approach, it's really not that hard to read music. With that said, there are some pros to reading tablature. It is very easy to understand just by looking at it. It's a more natural representation of the guitar neck. You can see it looks like a guitar fretboard. The other thing, it's very available. It's easy to find tabs on free websites. All over, you can find pretty much any song somewhere. And the other thing is, if you want to create some tablature yourself, you can actually do it on a typewriter. You can use regular typewriter font to create a rough version of tab. Now, there are some cons as well. The biggest one is that tablature doesn't give you all the information. And in particular, it doesn't tell you how long to hold the note. That's a real downside, actually. You either have to know the song or have the recorded version to keep comparing if you have tablature. The other thing is, if you're looking on free websites for tab, a lot of it is just not accurate. And there's versions from really inaccurate to pretty good. Of course, anybody can put free tablature on the web, so even some 10-year-old boy could scribble out something and put it up there, and it may not be very close to the song. I use sometimes websites to look for tablature, and I just compare different versions and see which sounds more like the actual song. Another thing is, when you learn to read music, you're learning something that's universal. You can apply it to other instruments. Tab you cannot. Guitar tablature is only for the guitar. Here we have an example of tablature. This top line is standard music notation, and the bottom line is tablature. These 6 lines represent the strings of the guitar. The bottom line is the thickest string, or low E on the guitar, and the top line is high E. So it starts with low E, then the 5th string A, then D, the 4th string, G, the 3rd string, B, the 2nd string, and high E. These numbers represent frets on the guitar. They don't actually tell you which finger to use. It just so happens in this finger picking exercise, these are the same, the frets and the fingering. But later on, especially when you go up the neck, the fingering and the frets don't coincide. So tablature doesn't tell you what finger to use, only which fret to put your finger on. It is easy to learn tablature, but it is incomplete information. Now I want to show you another example of tablature. In this case, it's the B minor scale. And here we have the actual notes on the guitar. Down here is the tablature underneath the notes. And above, I have some indications for fingerings. Now, as I mentioned before, the tablature really only tells you what fret it's on without any indication of what finger to use. Hey, thanks for joining me on this short video. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel and of course share the video with your friends. I've created what I call the 10 secrets to play an awesome guitar. What I did is I sat down and really tried to think of what I would want my student to learn that would help them to really be successful. And it's just not about a few licks or chords, but the real essence that would give you a lot of bang for buck if you really understood this. Then I created an artistic, awesome graphic, of course, with the help of a wonderfully talented artist. I'd like to give this to you as a gift. Please go ahead and click on this link and I'll get you over to a place where you'll enter your email address and I'll send it right over to you. Take care.